Richard Harris was executed in 2017.
What is your professional assessment of him?
You want me to profile a dead serial killer?
Why?
The truth is, he's not actually dead. He and some of the most dangerous criminals the world has ever known. They escaped from a classified prison.
How many?
A lot. We have to get them all back before they kill anyone else.
We're dealing with highly intelligent, malignant narcissists.
Who are volatile and unpredictable.
The longer they're out there, the more dangerous they're gonna become. This is new behavior. They're escalating. But there's something more here. What are you hiding?
The blast was no accident. Someone wanted those killers back out in the world.
The Hunting Party, February 3rd on NBC and Peacock.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NRW, where nerds rule the world. And I am talking to Josh McKenzie, who plays Shane Florence in the series The Hunting Party on NBC. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Heather, how are you?
Good. You sound a little different. You don't sound as American as you do in the show.
Yep. There's a big difference between me and Shane.
Well, let's talk about Shane a little bit. What's really interesting about his character is that he seems to be more of the reality in the series. Like he has the real perspective. He has the real knowledge because he was in there. He was the guard on duty. When you first read him, what were your thoughts of the character?
Obviously you get sent like character description, and then you get sent the pilot, and then you get the overarching kind of descriptions and all that stuff. So reading his character description, I was like, oh yeah, this is, it's the usual kind of buzzwords, charismatic, very selfless, sincere, all these words. And I was like, okay, pretty easygoing character. And then I read the script, and I was like, something's different here. And it was funny because talking to the showrunners when I was first being, going up for it, I threw something out there that was kind of a choice I made when I went and read for them. And they're like, where'd that choice come from? And I was like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I basically spoiled the entire series. And how did you know that? And I was like, I just could sense it, like reading it. You just haven't, you get given the description. I've been doing this for a long time, so I've read a lot of these descriptions, and I've read a lot of scripts, and you learn to kind of, oh, this is what he is on the surface. But when you read between the lines, there's a lot more going on. There's always a lot more going on, and subtext is so much more interesting to play. And every actor will say that. So I'm always looking for those things. I love puzzles. I love cryptic things. So every word, for me, I'm like, oh, there's a reason this is said the way it is, or this is avoided and this isn't, or the way what people latch onto. So in a roundabout way, to answer your question, I definitely read into it more than I probably should have. But I am playing him, so I think maybe I saw something that other people didn't see.
Absolutely. And it's a lot of fun to watch because at times Shane is also the humorous, relaxing moment that just that allows you to just remember it's a television show at times.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very necessary kind of source of levity in a very dark world, which, I know a lot of people who have high stress jobs and, soldiers and social workers and, and humor, sometimes like gallows humor, seems to be the panacea for the shit that, people see. Sorry for swearing.
No, you're good. We're an 18 plus. You're good.
Okay, great.
Trust me, as someone who lives in the DC area, I'm very well aware of that right now.
Good. Yeah.
With that, let's talk about the relationship, because you mentioned how there's kind of these hidden elements. There's this nuance amongst the characters. How do you handle kind of as an actor, how do you handle holding those moments that back when you're acting out those roles? Like how do you keep the audience in suspense when you're trying to display something at the same time not display it?
It's I mean, it's one of the luxuries of it being a procedural means that you have a pretty clear focus every episode, which is the killer of the week, in our case. So and it also comes down to just knowing who your character is, I think, because then you're not trying to play anything. You're just doing, and Shane's a doer. He's, we described him early on as like he's the hammer, to like Bex's brain and Hassani's scalpel, for example. So he's very much act, think later. So he's not burdened by all this subtext because he's the kind of guy who can. I mean, I can only imagine being a soldier. There's a lot you'd probably have to just like, compartmentalize in order to stay on task. So, yeah, I think that helps. Knowing the character and being able to stay on task and drive the plot, and in our case, drive the case and the along, so you don't get hung up on things. And then there are moments where you bump, obviously, like. For example, in the Malik episode, which I don't think I'm giving away a spoiler here, but where they ask, "Oh, do you know Dr. Dallas?" And I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure he's dead." So there's those moments where he's like, "I'm not good at this, so just a fucking sorry for throwing again, but a terrible life." And then at the end of the episode, obviously you see him sit down and he says, "Hey, Dad," and it's like one of those little moments. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think the killer of the week, the case of the week, and also just like knowing how your character deals with things helps you just keep driving, keep moving. That's what procedurals have to do. They have to be propulsive. They have to just keep moving. You can't stop and be burdened with like thinking too much.
Let the script tell you what you're doing. Just let it kind of roll.
Yeah. Hit your mark and say your lines.
Must be nice to be told what to do. That's all I'm going to say. It must be nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm naturally quite rebellious, so it's a balance,
Absolutely. When it comes to building that relationship, one really different thing, sort of different thing for this series versus other procedurals is that there's a family that's built, and y'all are in the process, as we're about halfway through the season, y'all are in the process of building that family. What is y'all's relation? What is the cast relationship offset? And how is that helping? How did that help build the relationship that y'all are creating on set?
Well, we all hate each other. No, it's actually, it's one of the best casts I think I've ever been part of. I've been part of like some fun stuff, but this one is obviously a bit more intimate, especially than the last few things that I've done, which were kind of ensembles. And I was playing more of a character in that. So there's, a bit more conflict, a bit more of an antagonist. Whereas on this one, we all have our secrets, as characters. So we kind of, we are playing with that. But outside of that, it is like a little family. And, none of us, oh, that's a lie. But a lot of us aren't like Vancouver locals, so we're kind of displaced. And I mean, I think Melissa is the only Vancouver local. Or maybe Sarah I think lives in LA. Sorry. Anyway, we're all kind of like thrown together in the city, and I think that helps, because you kind of have this little microcosm, and we were all doing our own reads and. Would go around and Patrick would cook these beautiful meals for us. He's just a fantastic chef. And, would play games and talk the script and just hang out. And yeah, it was probably the most social I've ever been on a set. I wouldn't say I'm antisocial, but I like to keep to myself and have my routine and my things and whatnot. And yeah, I was definitely felt and motivated to go out and spend time with these people. Like I love them all so much. Such good folk. Yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Josh, thank you so much for your time. The Hunting Party, new episodes premiere on Mondays at 10 p.m. On NBC and stream the next day on Peacock. Thank you, Josh, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Heather. Appreciate it.
Nerds rule the world.
Pleasure chatting with you. Love to all my nerds who rule the world.
Yeah. Nerds rule the world.
Yes, we do.
Thanks. Nerds rule the world. Thank you.
I love the nerds ruling the world. So more power to you.
Patrick, what up, man? And yes, they do. Nerds rule the world, kid.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Awesome. Kuya P, nerds rule the world. Hello.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Oh,
nerds rule the world.
I got.
It's in the title of your show, like nerds rule the world. Like I want more Black weirdos on screen, and I don't feel like we ever get to see that very much.
Thank you so much. Nerds do rule the world.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, nerds rule. Love
it. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Julian.
Yes, yes.
Rock on. I love it. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you. I love Nerds Rule the World.
But yeah, there's a heavy nerd component, man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you ask me, nerds rule the world. So
absolutely.
And you're right. Nerds do rule the world.
We're just the best.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
It's your boy Kuya P. Nerds rule the world. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you.
They rule the world all right.
Yes. Take care, Tony. Thank you, guys.